Please welcome Mike Lynds.
So I'm gonna do 80 pounds presses. I'm gonna go right into 40-pound presses, so it's more like a little bit of a drop set. Then I'm gonna go right into some fly motions. So plate loaded incline fly. See if I can jump on the end with the decline fly as well. Then I'm gonna go right into push-ups. So if a failure, probably go off of one of these benches here. And then I'm gonna do static hold. So get into like a fly kind of chest flex for about 30 seconds and hold it. So, like I mentioned earlier with the 90 degrees of the arms, this kind of gives you that good kind of scenario. I'll get into it with a narrow or less than 90 degrees. So it's going to show you right there that my chest is engaged, but as soon as I open up into the 90, you'll see my chest instantly pop up. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to kind of go over kind of the whole thought of rocking in and out of the press. The whole kind of mindset is you're pressing your torso through the bench. So it's not like you're pressing the weight away, it's kind of like you're pushing it through. So when the weight comes down, you're letting your kind of body come up, kind of thing. So that's where that kind of whole rocking motion kind of comes into it. Because realistically, you're not rocking, you're on a bench. You're not moving, it's just that thought process of opening up and closing that chest cavity. So, all right, so again, you can see I'm narrow, my chest is engaged. As soon as I open up, now I feel that stretch right in my chest. So I'm rocking up and away, up and away. So on this one, you'll see that I'm twisting the top a little bit. So what that's doing is I'm presetting my body when I get into my flies. So I'm coming up and I'm starting to twist that pinky. So when I get to the flies, the movement is kind of already started. I'm already pre-engaging my chest from this press. So again, getting into this. So when you grab it, at the back, at the full out of the rep, the weight should be kind of mid-hand. So between the ring and the middle. And as you come up, all you're doing is you're just transferring the weight towards your pinky. You're not angling your hand like this, twisting your shoulder into it. You're just transferring the weight, which does engage the chest more. So, middle, just transfer into the pinky. So it's just a slight transfer in weight. Alright, same sort of idea. When you're getting into it, preset, so everything's up. Just, everything's pushed up, sternum's engaged. The weight is in the middle of the hand. As I bring it down toward the pinky. Notice I'm starting from the bottom, I'm not starting from the top in this push-up. It's just until my form breaks. No real rep number. Notice my pinkies are up, same as if I was doing a fly, to really engage all the areas of the pec.
How important are flies to a big chest?
It's more of like a shaping exercise, but you're getting the areas that your presses aren't, because you're not going to hit the full chest on a press, right? So, and your body will get used to it and have stronger areas of the chest than other ones. So some people are predominantly upper pec, mid pec, or lower pec. So once you figure out where you're dominant, once you start to put mass on, you'll see if it's mid, upper, or lower. Then you have to work on your weaknesses. So your flies are assisting in helping those areas kind of try to catch up as much as they can. But at the end of the day, they're not really going to catch up totally. The whole point of being a bodybuilder is trying to make everything as close to symmetrical as you possibly can. I think the only body that I've ever seen be as close as it could be was probably Flex Wheeler's 1993 Arnold, I think. Was the freakiest, most symmetrical physique ever, in my opinion. But I think he's a freak of nature, so. Unless your name is Flex Wheeler, you gotta work on your weaknesses. Realistically, flat press is one of the most detrimental to your shoulder capsule if you're not really smart with your technique. So that's why a lot of people do kind of gravitate towards incline or a slight incline, as I'm doing right now. A lot of people, as they age, their shoulders just won't let them do flat. So judge your body. Some people are just unfortunately not made to press from flat position. So and just don't force the weight is another big thing. It's kind of dives into that whole ego lifting kind of concept we touched on the other day. For some reason, chest is one of those days that men's ego comes into play real quick, and they just think, I need to lift heavy, need to lift heavy, need to lift heavy. But at the end of the day, you're not really gaining anything. You're just moving weight. So you see me today, I got up to 4 plates aside on the plate loaded, and right away I noticed that my shoulders weren't feeling it today, so I stopped at that. So I didn't progress to my usual 5-6 plates. So read your body. Don't train with egos, because that's where injury is gonna come in. It's inevitable. So we're pushing our physique to the limit all the time. So if your ego comes into play, you're gonna cross that line and you're gonna end up hurting yourself. So be smart.
Planned deloads. There's guys that are in the world that take planned deloads like 3 weeks ahead.
Yeah, no, I do. I understand the thought process and the philosophy in that. But if you really think about it, like what I'm doing today is essentially a deload. Like my body told me that I don't lift heavy today. So I lowered the weight. I'm not changing my intensity. I'm still trying to go to fail on every exercise. So that's where a lot of people, unfortunately, they're blending philosophies from different sports. So the deload is a powerlifting kind of theory and thought philosophy. Same as like progressive overload and all that all comes from a powerlifting background. So they're all coming over into bodybuilding, and they're trying to kind of influence bodybuilders in that aspect. So, but one thing the bodybuilders can't lose and take their mind off of is you got to be intense. You got to train with intensity. You got to train with. You're training your muscle to failure, regardless of what you're doing. So yeah, it's great that you think you're going through a fucking deload to ease up your joints, but why don't you just change your protocol for the week? Instead of doing a heavy week, change it and do triple sets, giant sets, super sets, like drop sets. Like, you still keep the intensity, you just don't go fucking heavy. So that's what I think is, it's getting missed somewhere in the fucking social media fucking whirlwind that is today, and it's being kind of dropped to the side for all these new protocols and all these new magical science fucking theories that are coming into play. Some of them work, I'm not gonna fucking say they don't, but you gotta fucking realize bodybuilding is bodybuilding. The whole point of bodybuilding, and every fucking pro is gonna tell you, past generation to this generation, our whole point is to put the muscle in the most strenuous environment to make it grow as possible, but concentrating on the muscle you're working that day, not fucking, you're not coming in here and doing, all right, I'm doing chest, I'm also gonna try to build my back because I'm squeezing my lats and blah blah blah, or fucking trying to grow my shoulders on a fucking back day. Like, it doesn't, in my mind, it doesn't make any sense. I know there's, like I said, there's gonna be some kickback and some fucking social media fucking gurus out there that think they know better, but listen, this is the way I've trained for a couple of decades now, and it hasn't done me wrong. Train with intensity. If you want to be a bodybuilder, train with intensity. That's like one of my number one things, and I'm going to tell you, don't lose intensity over some fucking protocol that you're being told to fucking lift with. Progressive overload, fucking deload, fucking whatever it is. Your body's gonna tell you, don't lift heavy today. All right, we'll fucking do a drop set, triple set, fucking giant set day. Keep the volume up there and keep the intensity up there. But you're just lowering the weight so it's not much stress on your joints, which is deloading. So just be smart. I think that's where a lot of it is just, it's getting confused and misconstrued through coaches and coaches looking on other coaches on social media, and just the blending of knowledges across the planet. It's just, you got to have your way and you got to stick with your way. And if your way is working, then don't fucking change it unless you're specifically out there looking for someone to guide you in a way that you hit a plateau, you're not progressing, or something's happening that you need that extra bit of fucking knowledge from somebody else, then go seek it. Go get someone knowledge that you admire. You admire their philosophy. You admire the way their lifting style is. Don't just be on social media and be like, hey, this dude says I should do a deload this week because I lifted heavy, but my body feels perfectly fine, so I'll just deload anyway. Okay. Makes sense. Be smart.